Hello, hope you guys are doing well. So in this video, we are going to cover the first chapter of Class 11, which is Understanding Cinema 1. The purpose of making this video, I've actually started making this Class 11 का first chapter का video because I felt कि Class 7, मतलब Class 11 में जो book था, when if I talk about my experience, मैंने जब book खोला था, it was like कि यार मैंने गलत subject तो नहीं ले लिया, it's so boring, but it's not boring, the book is boring, but the subject is very interesting, ठीक है? तो let's just understand what mass media is all about. Actually, let's just understand what cinema is all about, because chapter 1 is talking about cinema. These chapters are very lengthy, I understand, and I won't be able to complete it in the very first video, like in a single video if I talk about, but I'm going to make the videos in 20 minutes of like videos of 20 minutes. ठीक है, जैसे ही 20 minutes खत्म हो जाएगा, I'll leave the chapter. ठीक है, you will go to the description box, you will try to solve those questions, and then again maybe on the next day or in that week only, I promise on that week only you'll get another video of second part, or maybe आप ये वीडियो देख रहे हो तो ऑलरेडी सेकंड पार्ट आ चुका होगा. इफ़ मेरे को बड़ा मज़ा आता है कि एक ही फ्लो में सब कुछ ख़त्म करना, तो सेकंड पार्ट आ चुका होगा, एंड सेकंड पार्ट से आप अगेन वीडियो देखोगे, एंड आई ऑब्वियसली इन सेकंड पार्ट 1 का मैं रिवीजन करवा दूँगी, एंड मतलब अच्छा सा रिकैप करके करवा देंगे, एंड देन इन we'll start with a new part and we'll complete it. Most probably in 2 parts we are going to complete the whole chapter. Isn't it amazing? ठीक है ना? Let's just begin. I gave it a long description because I have just started with class 11. Class 12 मैंने कर लिया है. सारा questions, सारा revisions and सारा explanations हो चुका है. So I don't want it to do same thing again and again. I just wanted to keep it there only. ठीक है, अब let's just focus on class 11. ठीक है, from now I'm only going to focus on class 11, and obviously in between if I think that something is like I should give it for class 12, then I'll make a video for that as well. So good I am, yaar. Till now you have not yet subscribed my channel, then please go and hit the subscribe button, because you will not get so sweet and helpful lady in your life. No, it's not that, but yeah, appreciate my effort now, please. Let's begin. Sorry for the bad throat which I'm having, but yeah, let's begin. Understanding cinema. Let's just understand cinema. अच्छा, ये question हो सकता है पूछा जाए that film as a medium and an art as different from other arts and media. So let's just see what it is written inside this bold line. We all love stories, right? We all love stories. We also love stories, but we actually love stories. Actually, if I talk particular about, then हाँ, हम लोग को कहानियाँ सुनना, पढ़ना अच्छा लगता है, राइट? देखना भी अच्छा लगता है टेलीविज़न में या फिर OTT प्लेटफॉर्म में. सो वी लव टू टेल देम, एंड बहुत सारे लोग जो होते हैं ना, दे आर अ वेरी गुड स्टोरी टेलर एज वेल. कुछ लोग बहुत गंदा स्टोरी बताते हैं, बट स्टिल दे आर लाइक कि आई लव टेलिंग स्टोरीज. बट एज अ गुड लिसनर हम लोग सिर्फ उन लोग की तरफ अट्रैक्ट होता है जिन लोग अच्छे से स्टोरी बताते हैं, विथ एकदम ट्विस्ट को मेंटेन कर बिना कोई लास्ट सीन बताए, राइट? तो we, as well as we listen to them, the people who actually tell the story, right? So we love the stories that appeal to us in various moods. As I said कि जो stories बहुत अच्छे से delicately एकदम अच्छे से smoothly flow maintain करके without any twist को पहले बताकर अच्छे से बताता है story, we get attracted towards them and we try to listen, like we try to be attentive, and मतलब अच्छे से attention के साथ हम लोग सुनता है without डाइवर्टिंग आवर माइंड. जब मतलब वो मूड जब स्पॉइल हो जाता है, हम लोग का दिमाग अटेंशन जो होता है वो चला जाता है. तो मूड इज ऑल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल व्हेन समवन इज टेलिंग द स्टोरी, और इवन इफ यू आर वाचिंग अ स्टोरी इन OTT प्लेटफॉर्म, ऑफ सम लव स्टोरी और समथिंग, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट, देन ऑल्सो देयर शुड बी अ मूड विच शुड बी मेंटेन्ड. ठीक है, इसलिए लाइट्स होते हैं, सॉन्ग्स दिए जाते हैं, जिससे कि हम लोग का वो मूड जो है वो क्रिएट हो. ठीक है, हम लोग भी ब्लश करें उन लोग के साथ साथ, राइट? सम आर रोमांटिक, सम आर mysterious, and some are scary. I can just imagine scary वाले में उन लोग की आवाज़ से ज़्यादा मेरा आवाज़ फट के निकलता है, and this may happen with everyone, especially girls if I talk about. While actually boys लोग भी डरते हैं, ठीक है, पर उन लोग pretend नहीं करते, मतलब दिखाते नहीं है, they pretend as in everything is normal and कुछ नहीं है. While some are amazing, ठीक है, we have changed and become so different from our ancestors in many ways, obviously. ठीक है, if I listen to the stories of my grandma, then their stories and the stories which we watch has a lot of difference. ठीक है, maybe because उनका जो बेस्ट स्टोरी है वो हम लोगों का मीडियम स्टोरी हो सकता है, बिकॉज ऑफ द जनरेशन गैप, एंड they give अलग मसाला, अलग फ्लेवर, अलग स्पाइस they add to the story. ठीक है, because of the generation gap and because of the different perspective, even if I watch a radio, ठीक है, रेडियो का स्टोरी आई एम लिसनिंग, माई इमेजिनेशन विल बी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम योर्स, बिकॉज वी आर टू डिफरेंट इंडिविजुअल्स, इवन इफ वी आर पार्ट ऑफ अ सेम जनरेशन, इवन इफ वी आर सिबलिंग्स, इवन इफ आइडेंटिकल ट्विंस, तब भी हम लोगों का जो इमेजिनेशन है वो टोटली डिफरेंट होगा, राइट? But in one respect we are no different from them. They loved stories as much as we do. Yeah, how much I love stories is can be equivalent to how much you love stories, but my imagination or my perspective, whatever I'm thinking about that story can be different from yours, because we are two different individuals, we have two different minds, right? Over the centuries, making has evolved various forms of storytelling, obviously, right? Some have been verbal, that is orally transmitted, as हम लोग grandmother का जो सुनता है या रेडियो में जो सुनता है, that is happening verbally, right? Or literally stories. Some have been purely pictorial. Some have been based on our ability to perform. Obviously, if we go to the theaters, the ability to perform, we can also see it is audio visual, we can see as well as we can hear, right? And some have been technology based, like cinema, if we talk about, or television. It will come under television also will come under technology also, because it is properly shooted then edited, and then it reaches to us, which happens in the 20th century. But before that, it was not happening in that way, okay? There was more preference was given to cinema, as in theater, okay, not to cinema. अब वर्बल के बारे में पता चला कि स्टोरीज कैन बी ट्रांसमिटेड इन वेरियस फॉर्म्स, वर्बल और ओरली, ऑडियो विजुअल के थ्रू भी, मतलब ऐसे थिएटर, मतलब परफॉर्मेंस के थ्रू। अच्छा, थिएटर भी परफॉर्मेंस के थ्रू होता है, बट कठपुतली के थ्रू भी स्टोरीज बताए जाते थे, विच वॉज नॉट वर्बली, विच यूज टू बी, दे यूज टू शो इट थ्रू पपेट्स, व्हाट आई मीन, राइट? तो वो भी परफॉर्मेंस के थ्रू ही दिखाए जाते थे स्टोरीज, ठीक है? सिनेमा इमर्ज्ड एज द प्रीमियर स्टोरी टेलिंग medium, incorporated many qualities of other arts. Although we see many arts reflected in cinema, it still remains its individual or unique quality, okay? This would be the first step in understanding cinema as a narrative medium or art. So if this question comes that elaborate this line or something like that, then you will write, firstly you will write that stories can be romantic, it can be mysterious, it can be scary as well. Then you will write that our imagination and my ancestors' imagination, as we are two different people from two different generations, because of the generation gap, imagination can be different, okay? Perception can be different. Then you will write that you have to write it in your own words. You won't write it, you will not learn these paragraphs, okay? अपने से फ्रेम करके लिखो, ठीक है? Then you will write about that the story can be transmitted orally or verbally, ठीक है? And through performance also it can be transmitted, and it can transmit through technology also. How through technology, how through performance, how through verbally? You will just give examples. Grandmother से मैंने story सुना, that is verbally. Don't write that, write radio, ठीक है? Give example of radio, which is a verbal medium, ठीक है? यहाँ चैप्टर खत्म नहीं हो जाता है, आई थॉट यहाँ तक चैप्टर खत्म हो जाता है, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये चैप्टर बहुत लंबा है, अंडरस्टैंड. We'll not focus on the activities because these questions hardly comes. Usually doesn't come actually. You can sit with it. You can just give it a glimpse or something. But yeah. Achha, they're summing up for us or what? Achha, they have said the same thing in different manners. Okay. You can read it once, yaar. It's written nicely only. Achha. Cinema is an audio-visual, spatio-temporal and narrative medium. So this is what cinema is all about. Visual on screen contains, whatever, if you close your eyes and imagine a cinema, what you see, okay? You're actually going to see actors, you're going to see the location, where location can be set, location can be studio, it can be some outer location as well, okay? Lighting, obviously, because of lighting, the makeups are, like, makeup is nothing, lighting is the more important factor. Okay, without lighting you will not get a mood, and the pictures will not be clear, the video, whatever you're seeing, will not be clear. Objects, yeah, you will see almirah, you'll see a bed, whatever you're imagining there, you will see some objects there. And composition, for sure. Soundtrack, if I talk about, then obviously it consists speech, it consists effect, it consists music, it consists silence, right? So these are the basic elements, okay, to go into the composition of any film, okay? That is how cinema tells the story its own way. Now, medium and material, okay? Every medium, okay, medium is a singular term and media is a plural term. If I talk about medium, every medium has its own material, material through which it realizes itself, okay? Literature uses words, or we can say languages. Painting uses lines, surface or canvas, colors, tones, shapes and two-dimensional space, right? These are not, I will actually write all the important questions which can come, okay, in the description box. Go to the description box and check out those questions. Those questions will be the important questions, and those questions only you have to learn, okay? You don't have to think so much. I won't write the answers you have to write, okay? I will only write the questions. Sculpture uses solid objects, okay? Examples are given. Texture, color, tones, and dimensional space, and offers multiple points of views of looking at object, ठीक है? ये था sculpture. अब now they are focusing on architecture. It uses building blocks like whatever, then texture, color, tones, and three-dimensional space, ठीक है? तो सॉलिड ऑब्जेक्ट्स और बिल्डिंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स, बस यही डिफरेंस था, बाकी सारे पॉइंट सेम है. व्हाट म्यूजिक यूजेस साउंड एंड साइलेंस, ठीक है? थिएटर यूजेस साउंड एंड स्पेस, ठीक है? बट सिनेमा यूजेस ऑल ऑफ दीज, ठीक है? Now that is why we see the elements of the other arts being used in cinema. Cinema uses techniques of storytelling, of literature, ठीक है? It also uses the basic elements of lines, shapes, colors, and whatever, ठीक है? This is what it uses. The same thing is said again, ठीक है? The same thing. This is what it uses. The question can be from this part that what cinema uses, ठीक है? This is how cinema is intimately related to literature, ठीक है? How it is related to literature, then you have to write this, ठीक है? Visual arts or performing arts, say how it is related to that, but still it has own identity. Focus on the blue lines, the lines which is written in the blue in blue ink, blue font में जो लिखा गया है. Read those questions and focus on it. Understanding this relationship, ठीक है? Cinema का relationship with literature और cinema का relationship with visual arts or performing arts. So if we need to understand to the other arts, is taking the first step towards understanding the basic quality and property of cinema. It is the first step of understanding it, okay? When we start seeing the link between cinema and the other arts, an exciting world opens up before us, ठीक है? If I talk about literature and cinema, they're again comparing these two things, ठीक है? Literature and cinema. So what's there in literature and cinema? Images in minds and images on screen. अच्छा, if I'm telling you, imagine a clinic. You will always imagine a clinic where you have already gone, ठीक है? अब the clinic where I usually go is different from the clinic where you actually go. When we are unwell or when we go for some purpose, whatever it is, ठीक है? तो my imagination and your imagination will be different, obviously, ठीक है? It can be different from each other, or it can be, obviously it will be different from the clinic which is going to be seen. Like सोचो हम एक अच्छा सा क्लिनिक इमेजिन किए, और तुम एक ऐसा, अच्छा सोचो तुम एक अच्छा सा क्लिनिक एकदम 5-स्टार होटल टाइप क्लिनिक या हॉस्पिटल का क्लिनिक, 5-स्टार होटल टाइप जो हॉस्पिटल्स होते हैं उनके क्लिनिक को इमेजिन किया, एंड हम इमेजिन किए वो नॉर्मल गवर्नमेंट जो एकदम छोटे क्लिनिक होते हैं, या फिर कोई ऐसा क्लिनिक जो कि अनहाइजीनिक जैसा है, बट दोनों ही क्लिनिक है, राइट? एंड तो फिर इससे हमको ये नहीं पता चलेगा कि कैसा क्लिनिक, राइट? दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिफाइन और दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्क्राइब ईच लोकेशन और ईच प्लेस इन सो डिस्क्रिप्टिव वे. बट जब वी आर सीइंग द इमेज, इट बिकम्स क्लैरिटी हो जाता है, इट बिकम्स मोर क्लियर दैट दिस इज द क्लिनिक, दैट मीन्स दिस इज़ अ गुड पर्सन वर्किंग इन अ गुड प्लेस, इन अ हाइजीनिक प्लेस. अच्छा, मतलब अच्छा इन्वायरमेंट है, वर्क स्पेस है, वर्क इन्वायरमेंट है, whatever. मतलब इट गिव्स मोर क्लैरिटी, राइट? विदाउट एनी confusion, you can actually focus on it, on the story, and you can become more attentive, or आप अच्छे से attention देके आराम से सुन सकते हो. मतलब it will give you more clarity and it will be more descriptive to understand, ठीक है? You will understand it in better way. Obviously audio visual में ये फ़र्क होता है, सिर्फ verbal में ये फ़र्क होता है, मतलब दोनों में काफ़ी फ़र्क होता है. So this is firstly they are telling literature uses words, and when you enjoy a work of fiction, what is fiction? Fiction is something which is not real, which has no contact with reality, ठीक है? मतलब if we talk about shows, reality shows, वो नॉन फिक्शन है. फिक्शन में ड्रामा सीरीज आ जाएंगे, ठीक है? We read the words first, then assimilate them. Obviously we read the first words, as in I'm reading it and then I'm explaining it. So what I'm doing, I'm assimilating them, those words, and after that we form our own mental pictures. Yeah, I'm forming my own mental pictures and I'm explaining, I'm giving the it characters and explaining. This is what I have said. Okay, and your characters and your mental pictures, your imaginations are going to be different than mine. Okay, if I'm asking you to imagine, close your eyes and imagine a theater. The theater can be a inox theater, the theater can be a normal, below average theater, it can be 7-star type of theater, it can be any theater, right? But all are theaters only, right? Moreover, these images are not the same for all of us, although we read the same words. Obviously we are reading the same words, we are listening the same words, but the imagination are going to be different. My mental picture is going to be different than yours, okay, from yours. In cinema, exactly opposite of this happens, okay? When we see a film, we directly see the image of the place, person, landscape, building on the screen. All of us see the same image, okay, in the same amount of time, exactly composed by the director. So this is what the difference between literature and cinema is. The reading, they're actually talking about the reading. When we are reading, the mental picture, that's why they have written the first line point, the mental pictures becomes different from my mental picture will be different from yours. But if I talk about cinema, we are seeing the same pictures, we are forming the same mental pictures, we will form the same mental pictures because we are seeing the same thing, right, in the same time. And everything, whatever we see, we all are sitting here in the theater, we are investing the same amount of time, ठीक है? 3 घंटा का वो चीज़ है। देखो, एक बुक पढ़ने में मेरे को 1 दिन लग सकता है, 1 दिन तो नहीं लगेगा, सोचो 1 महीना लग सकता है, तो आपको 1 हफ्ते में अभी आप कंप्लीट कर सकते हो, ठीक है? पर सिनेमा में 3 घंटे का मूवी है, तो सब कोई 3 घंटा बैठ के देखेगा और सेम अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम में जो भी मेरे को दिखेगा वो आपको दिखेगा, ठीक है? तो दिस इज़ व्हाट द डिफरेंस दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. दे आर बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट द इमेज part. ये एक्टिविटी है, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन द एक्टिविटी now. What we are going to start from? Yeah, we are going to start from Charulata. Charulata, do you know what Charulata is? Charulata is a movie name, hopefully. नहीं, मूवी नेम ही होगा. संजय राइस का चारुलता जो है वो 1964 का है. has an opening, ठीक है? which is a right out of the tradition, introducing a character very vividly, ठीक है? Ray spends a good 10 minutes in exposing the main character right at the beginning of the film. The film opens with